The state banquet at Windsor Castle was never going to be a mere dinner. It was a stage, a message, a piece of theatre dressed in gold and tradition, designed to remind both Britain and the world that monarchy still knows how to command attention. Beneath the vaulted ceilings of St. George's Hall, where portraits of past kings gazed down from oil-painted frames, the royal family welcomed President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania to an evening heavy with diplomatic weight. At its center, radiating presence and authority, stood the Prince and Princess of Wales. William provided the line of duty. Catherine, shimmering in gold, delivered the image destined to endure. The evening began with layers of symbolism. Windsor Castle itself is more than stone and battlements. It is the heart of monarchy, a fortress of continuity that has survived wars, fires, and political storms. To open its doors for an American president for the second time in 5 years was to signal more than hospitality. It was a declaration that, despite tensions, the special relationship remains Britain's most prized alliance. The message was sharpened by the fact that this visit was unusual. A rare second full state banquet for the same foreign leader, a privilege extended to few in history. In the candlelit hall, every detail had been calibrated to reinforce that point. From the gleam of polished silverware to the symmetry of the floral displays, the room was a living manuscript of protocol. Footmen in scarlet livery moved in silence, their steps as choreographed as any ballet. Strings from the gallery above played softly, wrapping the guests in a soundscape that combined grandeur with restraint. The long table, set for hundreds, glittered under chandeliers, each place card written in calligraphy, each glass aligned with geometric perfection. In such a hall, a single misstep becomes a headline. But the Crown knows this, and its members are trained to turn ritual into reassurance. Then came the moment that set the tone for the night. The Prince and Princess of Wales entered, side by side. William's regalia was impeccable, a Windsor tailcoat in the stiff white tie tradition, his chest decorated with medals, stars, and orders that map his life of service. He was the visual grammar of continuity, the air rehearsing kingship. But all eyes shifted to Catherine. Her gown by Philip Lepley, crafted in shimmering gold lace, caught the light like liquid fire. Every thread seemed woven to remind the audience of sovereignty and endurance. Gold is never neutral. It speaks of permanence, wealth, and triumph. To wear it on this night was to drape herself in the language of monarchy and diplomacy alike. Observers knew the choice was not accidental. For years, Catherine has championed British designers. By selecting Lepley for a global stage, she was affirming national talent. But the gown also echoed older forms. Its long sleeves and pleated fall drew subtle parallels to medieval ceremonial robes, a nod to the deep past. This blend of tradition and modern couture positioned her as both timeless and contemporary, the perfect emblem for a monarchy that insists it can modernize without losing its core. The jewelry sealed the symbolism. Perched above her newly lightened bronze waves was the Lover's Knot tiara, created in 1913 for Queen Mary, beloved by Diana, and now inseparable from Catherine's public image. Its arches of diamonds, suspending luminous pearls, framed her face like a halo. To wear it is always to evoke Diana, and therefore to carry the past into the present. For William's wife to claim it again, on such a night, was to say that memory itself has been re-anchored into the monarchy's future. On her hands, the sapphire engagement ring that once belonged to Diana, now stacked with William's infinity band and other rings. After her recovery, that combination carried emotional resonance, survival, loyalty, continuity. Every jewel was a message, and every message was clear: the Princess of Wales is back, and stronger than ever. William complimented her radiance with steadiness. His appearance was a reminder that monarchy is not only about sparkle, but about discipline. His medals and orders represented years of service, his posture, the calm authority of an heir who knows the cameras are reading not just his smile, but his future. Side by side, the couple embodied what the palace wanted the world to see: glamour paired with gravitas, beauty with authority, resilience with duty. The rest of the royal family reinforced the tableau. King Charles and Queen Camilla presided with dignity, Camilla in sapphire blue, a color that has become her signature of steadiness. Princess Anne, severe and efficient, represented the crown's workhorse tradition. The Duchess of Edinburgh, Sophie, has steadily risen in prominence and looked every inch the poised representative of the monarchy's next tier. Their presence formed a united front, a necessary backdrop after months of turbulence within the family. This was the image the palace wanted broadcast: stability, cohesion, and renewal. The Americans, for their part, brought contrast. Melania Trump, in Dior couture and a dramatic purple hat, carried the air of calculated fashion diplomacy. Yet next to Catherine's golden glow, the contrast only emphasized the princess's centrality. Diplomats understand that optics matter as much as speeches. And the optics of Windsor were unambiguous: Catherine was the star. The banquet itself was theatre. Toasts were exchanged, speeches delivered, wine poured into crystal. But the subtext was political. Downing Street had insisted on the full pomp of a state banquet, despite palace hesitations. For the government, projecting strength in the Anglo-American alliance was paramount. For the monarchy, the risk was clear: too much attention on the wrong details could drag the crown into controversy. In the end, the compromise was subtle. Charles hosted, but the spotlight fell squarely on William and Catherine. Kensington Palace amplified this afterward, releasing a video montage of the evening's highlights captioned with quiet understatement: "A day to remember in Windsor." Millions viewed it, and the message was received. Beyond the banquet, anticipation already grew for Catherine's next engagement with Melania Trump. The idea of the two women appearing side by side promised not just polite optics, but genuine diplomatic symbolism. In soft diplomacy, personal rapport matters as much as formal agreements. For the palace to place Catherine in that role was no accident. She has become the crown's most persuasive emissary abroad, glamorous yet approachable, regal yet relatable. Her ability to connect with global figures while carrying the weight of history makes her uniquely valuable. In effect, she is not just Britain's future queen, but its present-day diplomat. The symbolism extended further. For Catherine to appear in gold after months of recovery was to transform personal resilience into public reassurance. For William to stand at her side in regalia was to project stability after turbulence. For the wider royal family to gather in unity was to counter headlines of division with images of cohesion. Together, these elements turned the night into more than ceremony. It was a statement of survival, of adaptation, of determination to endure. History will add its own layers. Windsor Castle has hosted American leaders before: Reagan with Margaret Thatcher, Obama with Queen Elizabeth, Biden in quieter meetings. But this banquet, with its unusual second invitation to Trump, will be remembered differently. Not as a triumph of politics, but as the night Catherine reasserted herself as the crown's brightest jewel. The gown, the tiara, the rings, the poise, all converged into a single image destined for archives and documentaries. By dawn, newspapers across the world ran the same frame: Catherine in gold, tiara blazing, William at her side in medals and orders, the American president welcomed with centuries-old ritual. For Britain, it was proof that monarchy still knows how to turn ritual into relevance. For Catherine, it was a triumph, the evening she stepped not only back into the spotlight, but above it, carrying both history and diplomacy with effortless authority. Windsor has seen banquets before and will see them again. But this one will be remembered as golden, not only for the dress that shimmered in candlelight, but for the message it carried: that the crown, despite storms, can still dazzle, that its future queen has returned radiant, and that Britain, through ceremony, still knows how to speak the language of power.